All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for having me here. So I'm in your cafe. In your Discord, in your cafe. So I guess I'm a guest. So hi, nice to meet you. uh, how can I help you?
So welcome to our Discord. Um, and yes, we are happy to have you here. We have been told that you are developing a tool, a wallet that is very easy to use, and yeah, that's something that we are looking forward to using so that more people can use bread um, easily. We can onboard our relatives, friends, family, etc. So that's what we wish to learn more about.
Great, fantastic. Well, yeah, the rumor is true. We are indeed working on a wallet, and maybe to give you some context. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, I've been onboarding like gazillion of people to Web3 as part of the All for Climate DAO, and then with Regions Unite. And we started the climate round with Gitcoin, and we onboarded a couple of initiatives. And every single time it was such a pain to onboard people to Web3, right? You need to ask them to install MetaMask, and then MetaMask couldn't even let you receive any token before you save somewhere those 12 words on paper, and then you need to recover them to prove that you actually did it just to receive, like, you know, sometimes like not even $1 of tokens, right? It just makes no sense. It's such a big barrier of such a big friction. And then you have other better wallets like Rainbow Wallet, but then it's all about, investors, trading. You have a gazillion, you are bombarded with so many different tokens that are such a distraction for people that you try to onboard, where usually you just try to onboard them to one token. Um, and um, and then once you actually pass that threshold and you send them down, they have a wallet, MetaMask, Rainbow, whatever, you send them your token, and then they are stuck because they don't have any native token to pay for the gas fees. So say, right? I mean, you've been there, right? I guess you can all relate to that. And so but now there is a solution with account abstraction, ERC 4337s. Um, there is basically the opportunity to remove the friction of gas fees by having a paymaster, basically a third-party account that is paying, subsidizing, sponsoring the gas fees, which is the way it should be. Like especially on, all those L2s, right, or side chains where I mean on Gnosis, like the cost of a transaction is so close to nothing that you may as well sponsor the transactions of your users, right? It's a bit like when you start a blog, you actually don't ask your readers to pay for the bandwidth. You are just the one as the blog publisher who actually pays your monthly subscription fee for web hosting, right? So here's the same idea. The idea is that as a community, you create your token, and because you really want to incentivize people to use it, you are going to remove the friction, and so you're gonna sponsor for the transaction fees, right? So that's the general idea. So that's one thing, and then on the other side, we also like really believe that Web3 still is kind of waiting for its WordPress moment, right? Kind of an open source stack that anyone can use on their own server to basically enable people to publish on the web, in the case of WordPress, without knowing PHP, MySQL, HTML, right? And here we need the same for Web3, where we need kind of an open source stack that anyone should be able, any community should be able to quickly spin up a server, and then the community, the members of the community can just receive and send the tokens without understanding what gas fees are, without understanding what an EVM, what a chain even is. They shouldn't even know. Like knowing Gnosis Chain or Polygon or whatever, it's irrelevant. It would be a bit like, hey, is your WordPress hosted on AWS or whatnot, or Azure? It doesn't really matter, right? The end user just want to be able to use it. And so that's exactly what we are focusing on with the Citizen Wallet. We want to basically provide in a fully open source way so that people can fork it and put it on their own server and fully customize it, right? Or we can host it for them if that's what they prefer, to have their own token. So, enough talking. And let's do a demo, right? It's always nicer a demo. So here I have some bread in my Citizen wallet. There is a native app on iOS and Android. But before you download it, I don't know how many of you have downloaded it already. You okay? But Lewis, you have it already. Okay, but
I think so.
and just to know, are you on Android or on iOS?
Android here.
And Lewis?
I'm on Android.
Both on Android. Okay, and the other ones, I don't know if they are still following, but all right. So let's try this. So the idea is that like I can, when I tap on send, I can of course scan your QR code, but the idea is that if you don't have the app or whatever, I can just basically create a voucher, right? That you can just scan, and then it will automatically create like a web wallet. So I don't know if someone wants to scan it. Of course, only one of you, the fastest, is the one that's gonna get it, because I cannot double spend a bread by definition. And so the idea is that it automatically creates a new web wallet on people's phone, because you will be surprised by the number of people who actually don't have enough space on their phone to download a new app. And the idea is that like cash, right? You should be able to, if I want to give you money, I should be able to just give you, a banknote, and you keep it in your pocket, right? And you don't need to install anything. I don't need to ask you for an email or a password. I just give you the bloody banknotes. You put it in your pocket, and then you can give it to somebody else, right? And so that's the same idea here, right? So and then of course, once you get too many banknotes in your pocket, maybe it's not a good idea to keep it in your pocket, right? It's not safe. So maybe you want to download the app, and then you can download the app and import your pocket, import your web wallet in the app, and then and then it's safe, because then it's in the app and it's saved on your private key is saved on your Google Drive encrypted, and or your iOS iCloud, and so you are sure that you're not gonna lose it. So that's basically the way it works. And then we are still, I don't know. I'm gonna stop here for a second. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I've managed to open the app, but could you tell me again how to scan where is it just the QR in the top? Is it? Well, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see that
Yeah,
actually.
so on Android, there's a new version coming up that has been published, but sadly, we're still waiting for the Google Play Store to accept the latest version.
Okay.
The iOS one is up to date. I think on that version you cannot scan yet. You need to scan with your phone, with the camera of your phone.
I see. Because I remember when we met, it's just and then it'll open in the way. It'll just it's like a So let's try it.
But someone sees the voucher in his wallet, so maybe it's already.
Yeah, Aaron does. Yeah. So it's already claimed, right?
Oh, is it? So I'm looking for the
It's not claimed. I mean, I don't see it claimed.
No, I don't
Because
think it is. Yeah.
I can see the list of vouchers I've created, and I can see the one that have been redeemed or not, and then I can always refund them, right? I can always get them back to me.
So Aaron is
Yeah.
asking if he needs to take another step.
What do you mean by I see the voucher in my wallet? Like, do you see the redeem? Are you on Android or iOS? Just to know which version you have. And by the way, Kevin is here. Kevin is the main developer behind this. So he can also help answer questions. My balance is 10 bread. Well, that's pretty cool. You have more than me. I forced it. So actually, you should send some, you can send some to me then. If you have 10 bread. I thought this was a leftist, right? So we are against inequalities, right?
I could try, but I'm pretty damn poor right now.
No, you have to go to the
uh,
bread lines. There's a bread line channel and you get your voucher there.
I think that's me every Tuesday. IRL.
This
No,
is my
rather.
address if you want to send me some bread. And so,
All right. Need to figure. I'm not sure I'm able to QR you through the phone here.
no,
I'd have
otherwise,
to.
like,
I'd have to make the phone look at itself.
are you? Yeah, that's of course annoying.
Yeah. No, rather Mercurial sent me some earlier using a Linky thing, and so it registers as issued. The voucher is registered as issued, but not redeemed on his end. But on my end, it shows a 10 bread balance. So I was confirming that according to my end, it's been received. But
Well, here is a voucher that you can open with your phone directly. Will that work?
Sorry.
I shared in the link in the cafe in the chat, like
Gotcha.
the value of the QR code if you so that you don't need to scan your own phone. And but Kevin, like, is the faucet gonna work with the old version on Android?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think it was already implemented there. What I was gonna say is you can also just send it to @Xavier. Huh?
Ah, that's right. You can have those username and so actually I'm gonna share this. There's another QR code. We also have this faucet idea, and then the faucet you can set it up to do an airdrop, right? And here it will only allow once per address to redeem 2 bread. So you can scan that, and that should. And then we have this thing where let me see if I can. Let me see if I. Up. I'm gonna remove the app. Storage and cache, clear storage, delete. Yeah. So when you open the app for the first time, this is the new version coming up on Android. Yeah. So with the reflection on this phone is right. You can basically either browse the different communities, and then there was going to be bread there, or you can directly scan a voucher, right, or the faucet, and that will automatically set you up for the bread community on the right chain, right? So when you compare to MetaMask or whatever, like here, you just ask people to download the app, and then they can just directly scan up. And so now I'm gonna scan the voucher that I showed you, that I shared the screen. There we go. So I just scanned the voucher, and then now it's asking me allow to send notification. So now I can directly this is the screen after I scanned about the faucet, and I can directly claim 2 bread. And now I have a wallet set up, ready to go for bread. And in a few seconds, I will receive my first two bread if they were still in the faucet, unless you emptied it already.
So, but one question. That's only like you said. It's not possible to scan anything with the app, right? On Android yet.
Not in the current version that you have of the app.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Tomorrow it might be okay.
yeah. Like as soon as they approve. Oh, but is the faucet empty already? I don't know. I didn't receive any. Let me scan again. But you get the idea that basically now I basically have a wallet that is ready to be claiming again. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin, if you can look at the thing. But otherwise, like what I'm gonna do for the demo here, I'm gonna just send on that, boom, and you will see it's super fast, right? It automatically notifies as soon as I send the in real time, and it does like WhatsApp style, where you have a first notification and then a second one when it's fully settled on the blockchain. So that the experience is really nice because you don't want to wait for confirmation on the blockchain. What matters is that that's another thing possible with ERC 4237 is because as far as I'm concerned, when I sent the token, I signed everything. The community server knows that it's the one now responsible to bundle the user operation and send it with the appropriate amount of gas and so on to make sure it's recorded on the blockchain. So even before it's recorded on the blockchain, the community server can already check that it is valid, that it is eventually going to be written on the blockchain, so it can already notify the recipient. Yep. Kevin, you did the faucet?
Yeah, I claim from the faucet.
That was on iPhone, right?
And it only allows me to claim once. I'll send it back to the faucet. Not my bread.
Good citizen. But I think to me, like the most extraordinary experience is the fact that, unlike, I mean, I receive one bread, I can send one bread, right? Because it's also like another bad experience because I know like Gnosis, for example, you the native token is DAI, so you can pay directly with DAI, but then you receive one DAI and you cannot send one DAI, right? And that's for the end user. It's like confusing. No, I received one DAI. Like why I cannot send one DAI? What's the issue?
So, and how does it work with the fees? Who is paying for them?
So there is like a third party. There's something else I want to show you actually.
This guy is paying for it. There you go.
Live, you go on live.citizenwallet.xyz. You can go to where is the bread? Where's the bread? Show me the bread. Bread is here. Here we go. So I can do start listening. And so can someone wants to show me their address? Or you can create a profile and send some but otherwise I'm gonna send. So this is I'm gonna send to up. Boom. I'm gonna send. Oh, I received something. Hello. Boom. So I'm gonna send a zero. I'm cheap, so I'm gonna send 0.55 cent. And so that's something that we do like every first Wednesday of the month. Like we created also like our own bread token for Brussels, and we do a crypto bar at Crypto Wednesday, and people can basically, we have an iPad that shows this live view, and it's just so cool to see like as the evening goes, everybody paying with their. And it's nice because it really shows the value and the fact that it's really on the blockchain, right? You can really see all those transactions happening.
So to answer two questions that came up, first one is I put in the chat essentially the sponsor. So what happens when we spin up your server? On the server itself, a private key is generated. It never leaves the server, and that's basically a bundler. It will run half off-chain and on-chain in order to sponsor the transactions.
Markets
And
freed
all
from
you have to do is top
capitalism.
up this address
Charles W. Johnson,
with
2010.
XDAI, and then it
Let's
just
talk about the
sponsors all of the
structure and
transactions. You'll
mechanism.
see handle ups. Those are user operations. And for the second question, can you interact with arbitrary contracts? That's what you do now with the faucet. So right now, I mean, it's a bit limited. We've been focusing mainly on transactions, push notifications, the vouchers and that sort of functionality, but we're slowly adding more features. We're looking into Wallet Connect as well because Wallet Connect supports smart contracts. Yeah, but what you can see with the faucet is actually an interaction with a smart contract, and we are looking into adding more of that stuff as well. But yeah.
All open source. So if you want to, or if you know people who wants to hack on this and add new plugins and stuff, really feel free. One of the things that we've been working on is a marketplace. So I'm gonna show you with the most community that we started with. So here is just like the most token, and you can see that there is here the different plugins, right? And so one of them here is the market. And so when you open that, it basically shows an interface where notifications, where you can basically, people can add offers and requests, right? And then you can filter by tag, and you can contact them, right? Edit the post. The nice thing is that you're automatically logged in, right? So I can do a new post, and I'm already logged in with my profile because it's part of it's loaded within the wallet, right? And so that makes it easy, because you also want to make sure that otherwise I receive bread and you have no idea where can I spend it, right? So having a nice, easy way for people to add some, hey, if you give me so many breads, I'll do this for you, right? Or I'm looking for someone and I'm willing to give that many breads, right? I think it's just cool. So right now we didn't activate the plugin for you guys, but if you want, we can do that. Another plugin that we have is adding a Stripe integration. So we did that for the Brussels, and so here, like, this is the Brussels Pay for Brussels, and there is a top up, right? And then when you top up, it basically, you select the number of euros you want to top up, and then it would automatically bring the Stripe interface, so I can use Apple Pay to just pay. You're muted, Lewis. You want to say something?
No, I was just wondering about the Stripe integration. Is there what was involved with, like KYC? Was there any like KYC involved, anything like that?
Well, with Stripe takes care of that, right?
Yeah.
Because they basically, there is no way you can have a credit card and so they but then you need to connect the Stripe account. You need to connect the Stripe account to a bank account, right? So you need to have at some point like a legal entity that's gonna open the Stripe account, and but then you can basically, like the faucet, you basically define an account that's gonna act as the top-up faucet, and you just say like, this is how much euros or whatever currency people need to pay through Stripe to receive that many tokens, right? So that's one of the things that we can also add. One of the things we're working on is Monerium, because Monerium allows you to connect an IBAN number, so you can make a wire transfer, and then you will automatically also same deal. That's the thing. And then the last thing that we are doing is NFC cards and wristbands and keychains, and those are to me like super cool. Like we so here we have like a Wolugo, which is like one of the communes of Brussels, and then I see that you have the wristband of London.
Yeah, well,
There
I
you go.
remember you demoed your entry with scanning this, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Really, really cool.
And so when I scan this, here we go. I can just open. So yeah, it's hard to do it back on the. So here we go. This is my wallet that in my keychain, and then you can show the plugins here. So here they have a plugin for their own marketplace, or the thing that you can do, right? And if I do this card, right here. Yes, it's at the top. You need to know where the thing is. So here's my Brussels Pay one, right? And so I can top up from here. So if I do top up, it's going to automatically again show me where to top up. Put my thing. Now I can put my Apple Pay, and
Yeah, it was really cool. A few weeks ago, we ran a bar with these NFC things, and someone came up to me and say, "Hey, I lost my phone 2 weeks ago, and I still have a new phone. Is it possible for me to pay?" And we just gave them a tag, and then they were on their way. It's pretty cool.
That's great. So, yeah, really creative. Are you aware of anyone else doing things with NFC tags? Is it something you've heard of before, or did you guys come up
what
with
do you
it?
mean?
Oh, I'm just wondering whether utilizing like NFC tags in the way you are, whether that's something you sort of anyone else is doing as far as you know, or whether it's something that
Not as far as we know, no.
it's
Yeah.
so
So
really cool.
yeah, it's such a nice way to onboard people, and then yeah. But then the only thing is with NFC tags, of course, like you need to have like then different. You need to whitelist the devices that you want them to be able to withdraw from it, right? To tap to pay, right? Otherwise, there will be a security issue. But those are the things that we are working on, and so yeah. I don't know. Any other questions or feature requests? Or how do you guys would love to use this? Like what are the things that you would love to use this for?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I'm due to see a friend in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna. Well, there's a few. It's like it's his birthday, so there'll be a few people there. So I'm planning on just getting getting everyone to get their phones out and sort of demo the gasless transactions and the the vouchers and things like that. So yeah, I haven't had a chance because I mean, I haven't really used it. So that's my first gonna to like try and sort of onboard anyone. So that's gonna be my first sort of my first sort of go at it. So yeah, maybe maybe we'll have some feedback, some ideas after that. But it's yeah, I'm quite excited to. I've tried explaining it to him over the because he's used like normal like MetaMask. He's familiar with crypto, but yeah, it didn't make sense to him when I was explaining it to him over the phone. So yeah, looking forward to showing him.
I mean,
There's
the cool
one
thing
thing
is
you
that
can.
it's backward compatible, of course, with MetaMask, right? So you can send to MetaMask and you can send from MetaMask to your Citizen wallet, of course, right? So
So
Yeah, and I was going to say there's one other thing I forgot to mention is that to make it easier to mint, for example, if you want to easily mint, just get your actual address of your wallet in Citizen Wallet, and if you give this one minter rights on the token, there will be a mint button that appears here. So then you can mint straight from Citizen Wallet. You don't have to call the contract on chain manually.
Okay, how yeah, no, that sounds interesting. I'm just how does that work exactly?
So the way it works is that the wallet you operate here, the account you operate here, is a smart contract, and it has an address similar to how you would have an address for your private key on MetaMask. And the way your token works, you can give certain people or certain accounts access to mint. And so all we do here is on this screen, we do a small check on the token contract and see, am I a minter? Yes, no. And if yes, show button.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
When you say access to mint, it's just I've not. Is this with like every like ERC20 or
Yeah, every ERC20 has a way to mint and generate new bread or burn.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check. I'll check it out.
But yeah, but it depends how you set it up. Like I haven't read your smart contract, but you may also, for example, like I mean, usually there is a minter role, right, for people to be able to mint. But you may also have said that no, actually the only way to mint is to send some, DAI to back it.
Yeah, that in this case that would be right in this case.
Right. So in that
because
case,
it's like a CDP type, similar to it's that kind of thing. But yeah, no, that makes sense.
The gratitude token community as an example, but you have to dish it all before you can top up. What do you mean, rather Mercurial? Like the gratitude token is just as an example. We wanted to have people like an opportunity to, when they download the app, to directly try it out, right? And so the idea is that you always have a balance of one minimum, and then you can always, whenever you send, you mint. So the way you mean gratitude is by sending gratitude.
Oh, that's
Gotcha.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I tried to use the top up function there, but it wouldn't top up anymore because I already had tokens.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's it. Otherwise, what else to say? Like we're gonna be on the next Gitcoin round, so please think of us in your shopping spree, because we are basically running on donations and grants, right at the moment. We on purpose we don't want to go the VC route, even though we know we could. I've done startups in the past. I know that world, but I also know that it's not aligned with the long-term goal of this. Right, and so ideally, we really want to develop this as a DAO that should be owned by all of those different communities that will basically use the Citizen Wallet. Right, it doesn't make sense for the Moz community, the Bread community, the Brussels Pay community, to each of them develop a wallet. It's gonna be the same. Like it's not rocket science in a way, right? And so that's exactly like blogging. It doesn't make sense that all of those different blogs develop their own blog engine. Like it's fundamentally the same, right? Maybe they will want to have a different color scheme or theme or whatever. And for sure, like the tokens is gonna have a different logic, and maybe different plugins. But there's got to be like a common trunk that will be a bit stupid to reinvent the wheel every single time. So so yeah, you can actually. That's a good idea. We should have like a. You know what? Let me create. Okay, like that's my. I remember I put 10 euros with my Stripe. Actually, it's on my wallet now. So I'm gonna create a new. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's a bit hidden. We need to improve the interface for that. But if you ever want to switch communities or create a second account for Brett, you basically go to account and then you tap on your account name. So it's a bit, yeah, we need to improve that. So and then you can do join community. Oh, I didn't join community. So now I'm gonna join Brett again. And I'm gonna create a profile at Citizen Wallet. And up, I'm gonna add the logo. Boom. Citizen Wallet. And yeah, you can use those. Yeah, there's still that issue. Let me. If you have an issue creating your profile, this is a known bug. So, Kevin, you can say more about it.
Sure.
What
There,
I'm
you
doing
might have an issue with creating a profile the first time you create an account.
Oh yeah, it's only when you first time, yeah.
Yeah, we're working on a fix for that. And essentially, yeah, you would have to just restart the app and then it's fine.
All right, so now I have one. So if you want to make donations to at Citizen Wallet, you can now.
Yeah, that's how we did.
For us.
Yeah.
I don't know if this. Kevin, you want to add something?
No, I just wanted to add something about the profiles to say that that's how we ran the bar at the Crypto Wednesday. We just had at bar, at pizza, and people would send tokens and then put the comment, say, I want mozzarella pizza, I want pepperoni pizza. It was quite easy.
Yeah, because we also have, as part of the community server, there is the, if you want to know a bit more behind the scene, because there is no transaction description right on the blockchain. So so we had to add that, and also and we also need a push notification. So the community server is actually doing a bunch of things that you actually wouldn't thought that you need when you create a wallet. So it has an indexer, because you need to index all the events to be able to see the list and the history of all the transactions, because it's way too slow to fetch that every single time on the blockchain. It has a push notification server to manage the push notification to iOS and Android. And then it has also like this ability to add transaction descriptions. What we still need to do is, what we would love to do, but we haven't done it yet, is doing end-to-end encryption for the transaction description. But it's a bit tricky because those are smart contract accounts, so they don't have a private key. So when you encrypt for the public address, it is actually not encrypted for the public key that a private key can decrypt. So we need to we need to define we need to basically the multiple ways to solve this, but one of the ways to have you send to your account, register yourself to the community server behind the scene to let people know that this is the public key you should use to send me an end-to-end encrypted message. And anyway, we don't want to store them long term on the community server. Like as soon as it's being retrieved, it should be removed from the community server, so that there is only the public transaction on the blockchain and the metadata. It's only the people who were taking part in the transaction that have the metadata.
The community server, is that the like Golang? I took a look at your GitHub. There's the Golang repo, is it? I think from maybe it's called Indexer. I'm not sure if it's just called Indexer, the repo. That do you spin up? Is that as I only looked at it briefly. Is that? But do you spin up one server for each community? Is it? they're all yeah. I got you. Yeah, I'll take another look at it. But yeah, no, it's really cool. You're giving
So
me
like
idea.
right now we do that for each community, but we ideally we shouldn't have to. I mean each community, but it's really like WordPress. At the end of the day, like actually most communities don't want to deal with that. They would rather have, but at least we kind of force ourselves to do that so that we know that it's literally like a small instance on AWS for every community, and then we can give away the keys, or we can really easily get other people to
Yeah, I love. You've reminded me mentioning WordPress again because I like that comparison because I've used that before with making things. The idea of making things accessible to people. Um, yeah, yeah, it's the right thing to aim for, I think.
Yeah, I mean, all good, and kind of, yeah, our mission really is to, in the same way that thanks to WordPress, like we've seen an explosion, a Cambrian explosion of so many new blogs, so many new media, right? Well, we would love to see the Cambrian explosion of currencies, of community currencies, right? And the reason why we believe it's important is because um, we understand today that we need to go from from monoculture to permaculture, from monoculture of having like monocrop, and it's very efficient but very top down, and but also very fragile. And now we need to go to permaculture, which is much more bottom up and much more diversity and much more resilient, right? And so we believe that the next step is to go from the monoculture of a single currency to a permaculture of many different currencies, right? And for that, we need to give communities the tools they need to make it super easy to create their own currency so that they have their own way to reward contribution to the community, right? And to manage scarce resources that are available to that community. And that way, we can basically move to this new world where working for the community is going to be cool again. It's going to be rewarded again in a way that today it is not. When you work for the community today, it's so much harder to earn a buck than working for a multinational. And that's
Yeah.
because the only way to work to reward community work is to basically through taxes and subsidies and grants, right? So it's all based on basically convincing people who are not part of your community, who don't have much visibility on the work that you do for the community. You're supposed to convince them to pay for your job. And that just doesn't work. And that's sad. Sad face. But we can do something about it. And that's what really excites me. And why we work tirelessly on trying to make this work. But we need examples. And right now it's still very early days. There is more than 5,000 of those local currencies. Here is the Zine in Brussels, for example. So people have not waited for Web3 to exist to create their own local currencies. In fact, in the Middle Age, every city had their own coin, right? And great, like there's some people. I love this, hearing that notification. Make the bread flow. So yeah, so I'm collecting them. Like here is the one in France, like in the seagull.
Oh, cool.
It's another local currency, right? So all of those. This is actually my hometown where I was born, Nivelles, south of Brussels. It's a different city, and they have their own.
Those are really nice. Because I know there are a few like community currencies around the UK. There have been over the years, but I've never seen you know, like proper notes like that.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So-
I always think like the overhead of like, you know, having to produce notes, you know, like a physical currency. You know, it's like a, you know, maybe a bit of a barrier in crypto. That, you know, these sorts of projects like, you know, like Citizens Wallet make it, you know, will make it easier maybe.
Exactly. I mean, but those are like, you know, before blogging, people were also doing fanzines and community blogs, right? They didn't wait the internet, right? It's just that the internet enabled them to do that at 1,000 for the cost and at a much higher, you know, speed, reducing the friction for this. I also have a shitcoin as a community, as a local currency.
I got one of those as well.
I've heard it's backed by nothing. Oh my goodness, this is. Are we out-chaining our local currencies here? This one is backed by nothing. By fossil fuel.
I use dollars. I got y'all beat.
Just faith.
Yeah, I have some dollars too somewhere. Like, yeah, I should add that to my collection. That's right.
Yeah, you can wash them, but you can never get the blood off.
That's right. That's right. And I still have somewhere the where is it? I don't know where it is. The check from Donald Trump during COVID. Let me see if I can. Maybe it's here. I don't know if it's here. Alright, I'll find it. Show it another time, another day. Don't know where I put it. But I kept it somewhere. It's a piece of history, right? Where they were able to print money and like never before.
So I have a question, like the token, the Brussels token that you were mentioning is just euro, right? Like, but it says euro B. Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's for Euro Brussels. But oh yeah, it's fine too. Here we go. Ta-da!
Brilliant.
With Donald Trump, it's written on. It actually asked. They postponed it by a month, or by 2 weeks, I think, because he wanted his name to be on it. Of course, it was a few months before the election that he lost anyway. Anyway, yeah. So, oh yeah, this is the shitcoin. I'll keep it in my. Yeah. So Euro B. Yeah. I mean, we try to. This is all part of iterations. We've been iterating a lot with Crypto Wednesday to try to see like what makes the most sense, and yeah, I mean, the latest experiment is to call it Euro B for Euro Brussels, so that people know that it's back to the euro, so that there is no, yeah, it's easy. But then it's our own token, so that we can get the yield. Yeah, so it's an experiment. It's on Gnosis. It's using Monerium, right? So yeah, maybe you guys can help us actually figure out. I mean, it's maybe a bit too early. There isn't that much money now pegged, but to actually make how do we actually get the yield?
Yeah, that's it. Well, what and keeping like you want something backed by you say Monerium, like the euro, you know, the euro.
Yep.
There's the Euro E. That's it. I don't know whether there's any way. Yeah, this is it. Trying to, because obviously I'm in the UK and dollars. You know how much, you know, it's not ideal for me. So yeah, I wonder the same thing, whether these, some yield might come along, um, accessible yield for these other tokens. And yeah, we'll have to see.
When Citizen Wallet in Breadchain Cooperative. I don't know. What is the Breadchain Cooperative? What do you mean by that?
The organizations that receive the yield generated by Altbread.
Sure. Would love that.
So, but then, like, what I don't get is with Stripe, I can buy bread or directly.
Well, if you set it up.
That's a specific. That's you did that integration for a specific project, right?
For Euro-B.
Yeah, it's just because we did a local currency in Brussels and pegged to the euro, so it was like, obvious that for people, it's just so cool. Like you go to the bar, right, and you have your either you if you don't have the Citizen Wallet, we give you a card or a keychain. You tap it and boom on your phone, and you have one tap to do top up. You do your Apple Pay or Google Pay, and boom, you have, like I showed you, right? And then you tap to pay, or you do that with your phone, and you have also the icon to top up, and then it just works. And so it just makes it so easy, right? And then it's like a festival, except you can top up right from your phone. You don't even need to go to the top up station, right? And then because we ask for a minimum of 10 euros, like instead of paying with your phone all the time for every beer, and then because there is a lot of there's a fixed cost per transaction, right? So now you spread that fixed cost of transaction over multiple transactions, so it's actually better for the bar.
Yeah.
Baguette for Europeans. Like it.
And then is there any, like, in terms of security, like any password, or how does it work? So you can
so no,
you can export your private key, I understand, but
Yeah,
what
I guess
about
the way it works is on device when you create an account, the private key is created, and then that asks the chain what is the account number. So then, essentially, your account, the thing you're operating right now to send the bread, is a smart contract operated by your private key, owned by your private key on your device. And every time you make a new one, it's a new private key. So if you have 20 accounts, you have 20 private keys, and then the backup on Android is done there's a secret storage in your Google Drive that every app has. Every app has 25 megabytes, I think, roughly. And so you'll see if you go into settings, you can back up all your data to your Google Drive. It's encrypted. And iOS is slightly different. iOS has a global keychain, so we use the keychain as a store for the private keys. But in the end, what we can do is, like, let's say someone loses their private key. You can always switch out the private key on the account. So it becomes more like a password than anything else.
session key.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the idea is that the private key should never leave the device. Right. And so, but your account, you may have multiple devices for your account. Like you can connect to your Facebook or Twitter from multiple places. Right, so that's the general idea. And then another core principle that we have is that you have a different private key per community that you join. Right, because you shouldn't be able to link my activity in the bread community and in the Brussels Pay community. Thank you, Kevin, for joining.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm also gonna have to go. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah, thanks for coming along. It's been
Thanks.
it's been great. Cheers.
And these are actually a couple of benefits, besides the privacy, of course. is it means that this account created for the Citizen wallet is only kind of usable for your own token, so that if I lose it, well, actually, you can recover it, and well, we allow you to recover it. Why? Because that sounds like, yeah, but that's crazy because, and well, the thing is, when you think about it, you already have full power on the smart contract that manages your token, right? So if my account only holds the bread token, then actually, no matter what, you are always free to upgrade the contract and kick me out. By the way, this is already the case with USDC, right? So if anyway you can anytime, do whatever you want actually with my tokens, and if my wallet is actually only used for your token, then you may as well help me recover it if I ever lose it. Which is solving like the other massive issue for most people, which is, what do I do if I lose it? Well, worry not. The community is immunity, right? Your community can help you recover your account. And now you may say, like, yes, but what if I don't want the community to be able to recover my account? I don't want this because then fine. You can always send your tokens to your MetaMask. Right? So and that's to me like the thing that has been missing in the crypto community. We've been way too much into like, because we are most hardcore crypto people, right? But actually, most people expect to be able to go to the bank, meet a human, and recover access to their bank account.
Right. Totally. Like I've had this discussion with people myself. Like, yeah, I agree.
Right? And for those people, fine, don't worry. You can always send your bread token to your MetaMask. And in that case, if you lose a MetaMask, it's your problem. But if you send your token to your MetaMask, you self-selected yourself to say that, okay, I already know this shit.
Mm.
And then that's fine.
Yeah.
So
So that's kind of the general philosophy that we try to embrace, which is we try to make it work for citizens. And while all the time leaving a door for people who are more expert or whatever, right? But it has to work for people, and people should be able to just use it and be able to recover and be able to, do all of that.
So currently, who can recover accounts in BreadChain community?
So right now, it's whoever deployed your smart contract, your token.
And that was you or Josh or?
Well, in this case,
Luis.
I need to check. I think it's probably Kevin. But we can swap it, right? So we can swap it anytime to you, and we should totally do that. And then I would recommend that the recommendation would be that it should be the same as whoever has the permission to upgrade your smart contract.
Yeah.
Because then that makes sense.
It's similar sort of access. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. No, same.
Right, and ideally you have a multi-sig behind, right, to make sure that there is some security there.
Yeah.
But that's the general idea.
Yep. Yeah.
But so another question is like the app itself doesn't have any password or whatever. So if someone kind of has your phone,
But passwords are terrible.
huh?
Passwords are terrible.
I don't know, but it doesn't, right? Like if someone takes my phone and so on, like he or she can just send anything.
Well, they first need to unlock your phone.
Yeah, imagine if it's unlocked.
Oh, is your phone? Yeah, I mean, maybe we should add. Okay, I see what you mean. Maybe we should add like a lock in the app. Indeed, yeah.
So
You could do like
But using your but do you want a PIN or what do you want? I mean, like, do you want a Face ID or a Touch ID or?
I would prefer a PIN, but
You would prefer a PIN. Okay.
yeah.
I think
Yeah, but that's good feedback. We can totally add that as an option. The reason why we don't have it is because we normally, like, your phone is already locked, right? And
Yeah, no, you're right. That I mean, thinking about it, a lot of security sensitive stuff sometimes does ask you to like confirm. Like I know Rainbow, when I use Rainbow Wallet, I got to confirm like the biometrics, like my thumbprint or whatever. But yeah.
yeah, but
Uh,
that's a good thing. And if you have the time, otherwise I'll do it. But so that you also get notified when it's gonna be done, um, you can basically add an issue on our repo so that you get notified when it's done. I think it's a good request.
Okay, nice.
mm,
And then you said that you want to integrate with Wallet Connect at some point.
Yeah, we are working on Wallet Connect. Yeah,
Nice.
this is in the works. Um, the only thing annoying is that because of this concept of paymaster, right? Um, we need to whitelist the contracts with which you want to interact with, because otherwise you could abuse because you have somebody else paying for you for your interactions.
yeah, good point. Interesting.
So I guess what we could do is say, like, hey, for the non-whitelisted one, you should still be able to use them. It's just that you need to pay for your own gas fees.
Yeah,
But
that's
but
that's
then
an idea.
but then it becomes like, but then arguably then you may as well send your tokens into your MetaMask and
Say the core functionality is like just that it like like interpersonal, like simple payments, right? Like a lot of stuff that a lot of features dApps, other apps have that you interact with them. They have when you're interacting with other smart contracts. I don't know. I'm imagining like the audience for like Citizen Wallet. Maybe not. Yeah.
yeah, I don't see them like interacting with custom and also like, so the way we see it is more like the App Store, where there is the community creates for you the dApps,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
right?
Interesting.
The community is gonna whitelist them for you, and so that it's safe. The community has, because as a user, like, I don't know which one are safe or not, and I could be scammed, and sometimes writing Uniswap in a slightly different way and sending me a link over email, and I think it's the same, but it's not. Like, there's a lot of scams out there. Like, I think so. What we really want, the philosophy here is that it's really this idea that in the community, one or two people should know about that stuff, but not most people. And those two people or few people should be the one being the stewards of the community, the safeguards of the community, and whitelisting whatever. Exactly like on WordPress, basically, where you will have the WordPress admin that will select and curate the different plugins,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you as just a writer, you just log in and you publish, and you don't need to go through the gazillion of different plugins, and it just created for you.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So
Yeah.
if I understand correctly, like, I don't know if it's possible to do that now, but it will be possible to add dApps as plugins in Citizen
Yep,
Wallet for specific communities.
that's right.
Nice, makes sense.
That's
Nice.
right. So we have a tiny version of that right now, which is the one I've shown you with the top up and the marketplace that can shows up directly in the app, and but it's still a very lightweight way to do it. But our goal would be to enable people to add any dApp and then whitelist them. And we just right now we are only two developers, and I'm not even, I need to do many other things and develop myself. So it's more like a developer and a half. So we need more gas. We need more fuel to be able to do all the things that we want to do. But
Nice. So we should
I know.
promote your grant, huh? Your Gitcoin grant soon.
Yeah, but to be honest, like we're a bit tired of it because it's a lot
Yeah.
of effort for just a few K at best, and then it's just like seriously, like it's a lot of distraction. It's not really sustainable.
So you will join
Yeah.
Breadchain then.
Yeah, but you know, we need to find. I think I'm a big believer in retro public good funding. I think this is already a much better way. But yeah. Well, we'll see. I trust the universe that if it's something that people truly want, like they will find a way to fund it. Um, and until then it means that we need to go slower, and maybe that's, you know, we'll try to yeah, to go at the speed of trust.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm gonna have to leave it there, guys. I think.
Yeah, but me too. It's been
Yeah.
more than an hour now.
Thanks a lot.
All right, but thank you
Javier.
guys so much for the invitation. Don't hesitate. If you have any feature requests, if you have any questions, any bug, whatever, there's our Discord, and yeah, we're looking forward to get your feedback and ideas and ways to make it better.
It's brilliant, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks. I've enjoyed it. Learned a lot. So it's been good.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Take care,
guys.
Xavier.
See you.
Bye bye.